This is a business that anyone can get into. You'll be able to sell rabbit meat, something that is highly in demand. Rabbit farming is such a low cost farming, yet so profitable. There is rabbit urine, which is an amazing fertilizer that you can apply to your crops. There is also the rabbit manure, which is also very good for your crops. There is the rabbit fur that you can export at over 3 times the value of your rabbit. So it's such a profitable venture that anybody who is interested in making money in farming should get themselves into. You can also do value addition by making, for example, biltong. So the benefits that come from the value addition are really amazing and down to your imagination. Why should you keep rabbits? So I am going to talk about a couple of things, from rabbit meat to rabbit urine. I'll talk about rabbit manure, and I'll also talk about how to keep rabbits. So the first thing I'll focus on now is the keeping of rabbits, or the rearing of rabbits. Rabbits are very fascinating and nice creatures to keep. The beauty about rabbits is that they are very cheap to breed and to keep. Rabbits mostly feed on hay as well as green vegetables. So you'll find that if you are somebody who has a small backyard garden, then some of your greens in the garden could find their way into your rabbitry. But however, I would want to emphasize that rabbits are best fed through hay, the dry grass, rather than the greens. So if you have grass, like your Katambora grass, or you can buy hay bales from people that manufacture hay bales. These are the best to feed your rabbits, because dry grass like hay bales don't bloat the rabbits, unlike greens. So when you feed your rabbits with greens, these must be given in very limited supplies, maybe 1 or 2 leaves here and there, just to give them that little Christmas which comes once a year. But otherwise, the greater part of your time, you must always make sure that you give your rabbits hay, because this does not bloat their stomachs. Now, you can also supplement your hay with pellets. Pellets are easily available in various hardwares and feed companies or feed shops, so you can be able to buy rabbit pellets from there. These you can give also in very small quantities in the morning and late afternoon to supplement your hay. Because also what happens is that with rabbits, if they urinate on the hay, they will not eat it. So sometimes you may think that there is feed in your cage, yet the rabbit is not feeding on it because the hay is now wet with rabbit urine. So supplementing with rabbit pellets makes sure that there is sufficient feed in your cage throughout the day. Rabbits are quite nice to keep at home, especially if you keep these as pets. They are not as messy as other animals like dogs and stuff like that, and also they are very kids friendly. So kids would learn responsibility at a young age. They can play with the rabbits without any harm or danger, and they will learn how to feed the rabbits, how to give them water, and they develop that responsibility at a young age, which is quite nice then, because you are teaching your kids to be responsible. But most importantly, the kids would also be attached to the rabbits, and they'll fall in love with the rabbits, which is quite cool, because then that bond between the kids and the rabbits would then make sure that they are more interested in the welfare of the rabbits. Because if you're keeping animals, then the welfare of the animal is at heart. Otherwise, if you're not passionate about the welfare of the animal, then you will not take good care of it. So when kids fall in love with rabbits, they develop a bond, and they want to make sure that the rabbit is well taken care of. So they will be always there for it, give it feed, give it water, watch over it, and be able to tell on a day that the rabbit is down. Maybe it's because it's got an illness or something. The kids will be able to pick it up because they've got that special bond. And also, I think on a lighter note, when the kids come back from school, the last thing you want is for them to be messing around in the house. So if they've got rabbits to play with, you keep them away from your house, and your house remains clean, which is quite nice. But otherwise, that bond between the kids and the rabbits is really important, even for their own development. As they are growing, they will learn to love animals at a young age, which is very good, because then it gives them that responsibility. It gives them that age of wanting to be close to animals, which is really a good thing. So rabbits are not hard to keep, even in the household, in your backyard, at your plot, or at your farm. These are very, very, very good animals to have at home. They are docile, not aggressive, so they will never attack your kids or harm your children. Feeding animals the right food is always important for their development. So any animal that you keep, if you don't feed it well, it will not develop well, and rabbits included. So I spoke earlier on about how and why we should feed rabbits with hay. Hay is really good for digestion. It's good for the teeth of the rabbit, because rabbit teeth don't stop growing. So you need something that is dry and a little bit hard to keep the teeth in check, so that they don't grow too big, and then in the end make it difficult for the rabbit to be able to eat, and then eventually to die. So that's one big advantage for hay, that it keeps those teeth in check. But most importantly, dry grass is very good for its digestion. It carries also some really good nutrients, which aid the development of the rabbit. Then in terms of the greens, you will find that yes, greens are good. They also bring in some nutrients, but these are difficult to digest for the rabbit, and the rabbit may bloat and eventually die, which is why they must be given sparingly to the rabbits. Now, comparing the two, greens and hay, from a cost point of view, a hay bale will cost you $2.30, $2.50, and if you're keeping one rabbit, one hay bale will be sufficient to last you not less than a month. So it means for a whole month you have a cost of $2.50 for feed for one rabbit, more or less. And then you can supplement the hay bale with rabbit pellets. Now the pellets are very good in the sense that they have a balanced nutrients in them, so therefore it means that any nutrients that could be lacking from the hay would then be supplemented through the pellets. So it means at the end of the day, your rabbit will have sufficient well-balanced feed, which will help it to develop from its young stage even up to maturity. It will develop very, very well. That way it means you get the best weight, you will get the best in terms of the quality of the rabbit, as well as how it develops. So it is very critical that in terms of nutrition, your rabbit is always well fed with a balanced diet in terms of nutrients, and also a feed that it can easily digest and break down, which is why we recommend that the rabbits must be fed using hay. Some may argue that for years I've kept rabbits and I've been giving them greens from my garden. Yes, you may succeed with that, but then what that does is that you are not getting the best out of your rabbit. If you just feed the rabbits purely on vegetables or greens from your garden, you will not get the best out of your rabbits. So the best is to give them hay, supplement here and there with some pellets, and then once in a while just give them a few greens just for them to snack on as a snack. The rabbits do love that. Then also it is important for you to make sure that the rabbits have got access to clean water 24/7. So you don't want to put in some drinkers in there that you have to put water manually, and then the workers sometimes they get swamped or they forget and they don't clean the drinkers, and maybe they don't put water. So what we have done here is that we have connected our water system to our main water supply. So that way it means that our rabbits are consistently throughout the day fed with clean water, and they can drink this water at any point in time. So since the rabbit is feeding on hay, that hay there requires some bit of water to come in so that the rabbit can be able to digest the hay. So it is important that rabbits are given clean and fresh water for the entire part of the day, because they drink quite a lot of water within a 24-hour cycle. So it is important that the water is always available as and when the rabbit requires the water. You might be sitting there wondering, why should I go into rabbit farming? Apart from it being profitable as a business, there are many benefits that come with, for example, rabbit meat. For people that are health conscious, they would love to eat rabbit meat because it comes with so many benefits. For example, it is very low fat or very low calories, even better than chicken. So it means for those people that are conscious about their health, about their weight, rabbit meat is your go-to meat because it's got very low calories, so you will not gain a lot of fat or a lot of weight if you eat quite a bit of rabbits. Also, rabbit meat has got low sodium, and this is conducive for people that have high blood pressure. So it means that if you've got high blood pressure and you regularly eat rabbit meat, then it will help to keep your blood pressure in check because the rabbit meat has got low sodium. So and many people in this world have got high blood pressure, so this creates a good market for you as the farmer if you keep rabbits for meat, because these people, if they eat regularly rabbit meat, then it will help them to manage their blood pressure because of the low sodium. Rabbit meat is also high in phosphorus and calcium, which are very good nutrients that help the body to develop, to be energetic, which are nutrients that are highly required by the body. So again, for anybody out there who eats rabbit meat, then these nutrients are easily made available to the body, as they are crucial for the functioning and the development of the body. Also, some of the nutrients you will find in rabbit meat, or some of the vitamins like iron, which helps to circulate the blood and keeps us energetic for the rest of the day, is also highly available in rabbit meat. So when you eat rabbit meat, it means you're injecting a lot of iron into your body, which helps with your eyesight, it helps with a lot of things. But most importantly, it helps the smooth flow of the blood, which will give you quite a lot of energy during the day. But again, there are other nutrients that you will find in rabbit meat as well, or other vitamins like vitamin B12, you'll find it there. You will find zinc, it's also available in rabbit meat. So in terms of nutrients, rabbit meat is packed with a lot of nutrients required for the proper functioning of the body, yet there are no calories, there's no so much fat. Remember, we said that when you're feeding the rabbits, we feed them with hay. So hay does not have a lot of fat or a lot of calories. So rabbit meat is clean meat with very, very low calories, which are very good for your body if you're somebody who watches their weight. So all these benefits accrue with rabbit meat. So it means that if you target your affluent market, or people who are conscious about their bodies, about their weights, people with body goals, these people would obviously take rabbit meat on a regular basis. So it creates a market for you as a farmer, which makes it profitable for you to be able to farm profitably when you're doing rabbits. But most importantly also, rabbits produce quite a lot when they reproduce. So for example, one female rabbit can give you an average of 8 kids every time that it gives birth. And also, a rabbit's gestation period is just 30 days from the day that it mates. So it means that within 30 days from mating, your rabbit will have kids, and it will keep these for up to about 8 weeks or so, and then you wean it off. So it means in a year, one female rabbit will give you kids 4 times in a year on average. We call it a doe. So the doe will give you about 4 kids, 4 cycles of kids per year. And it means that if it gives you an average of 8 kids per cycle, it means in a year roughly you are hitting 30s in terms of the number of kids that you get from one single rabbit. So you can imagine if you've got 10, 20, 50 does, they will easily multiply, give you that critical mass that you can be able to meet the demand for your targeted market in terms of consumption, in terms of meat. So bearing in mind also that the space required to raise these rabbits is not really big. So it means your cost is very low, yet the multiplication is so quick and the numbers will grow very quickly, allowing you to be able to generate some good profit. From date of birth, you can be able to sell your rabbit for meat at 3 months. So at 12 weeks, that's the nice age because the meat is very tender at that point. So it's easy to digest for humans, unlike when you keep it until it's very, very old. Additionally, some of the benefits that a farmer would also get when you keep rabbits. Sometimes it can come down to your imagination. It comes down to how innovative you are and how creative you are. So imagine supplying rabbit biltong to the airlines, to the airports, supermarkets. It would sell like hotcake. So as a farmer, you can also, slaughter your rabbits, make some biltong, get it certified, package it nicely, and be able to sell it to all these, customers, supermarkets, airlines, you name it, airports, everywhere. People love, biltong. We grow up in the rural areas eating biltong with peanut butter. So you can imagine rabbit biltong with peanut butter. That's succulent, that's delicious. So as a farmer, you can also consider having that as an additional, product for yourself to try and increase your margins and your profitability. Over and above, making biltong, you can also, buy a machine that processes the rabbit fur. If you ask our beautiful ladies out there, they love wearing those nice coats with fur that keep them warm in the winter. And also, especially in the cold countries like Europe, for example, where it's mostly cold throughout the year, people there wear, these coats with fur that keep them warm. Some of them would be rabbit fur. And I want to give you an assignment. If you go on the internet and just Google the price of rabbit fur, it will make you jump out of your seat today and get into rabbit farming, because it's so profitable. Imagine you would have sold or eaten your rabbit as meat or made it into biltong. Over and above that, you can then process the fur and be able to export it or be able to sell it and make some really amazing profits on your rabbit. So these are additional benefits that you as a farmer can create for yourself out of such a small, simple business to run that is not very capital intensive, one that you can easily grow organically over a couple of months or years, and you can grow it into a large business. Let's talk about rabbit urine. This is one of the most sought after byproducts that you get from keeping rabbits. Rabbit urine is an amazing fertilizer and a pesticide that you can use to get rid of unruly pests that affect or attack your crops. So the beauty about rabbit urine as a fertilizer is that it also helps to improve your soil fertility. Remember, soil health is everything when you're a farmer. So you want to make sure that your soils have the best nutrients that enable the plant to be able to develop and grow as quickly as possible, at the same time giving you the desired output in terms of your produce. So rabbit urine improves the soil fertility, especially if you're somebody who likes organic farming or organic products. Then the rabbit urine is your go-to product. Now, so you can easily collect your rabbit urine from your cages using trays. Collect the urine into buckets, and then you can sieve it to remove any particles that may have been collected in the buckets as well, or some grass or some hay that may fall into the buckets. Now once you sieve these and collect the urine, you can put it into drums and then store it somewhere safe. Now once you collect your rabbit urine, you can also be able to mix it with maize starch as well as molasses, so that the microbes in the urine will be able to find something to feed on, and then you just let it stay there for 2-3 days to ferment a bit, and then you can apply it as a foliar fertilizer in your field. Now do that and watch the crop run like you've connected it to electricity. So it's an amazing, rich, organic fertilizer that will jumpstart your crop and give it the nutrients it needs for development. So things like tomatoes, things like peppers, or your garden cover vegetables, they will grow very, very quickly by utilizing rabbit urine as a fertilizer, at the same time getting rid of pests. So you might be sitting there wondering, so how then do you apply this rabbit urine into your crops? So you can mix your rabbit urine with water using a ratio of between 1:5 and 1:10. So every 1 liter of rabbit urine can be mixed with 5 liters of water or up to 10 liters of water. You put this in a knapsack spray and then you spray your crops with this mixture. It can be applied twice weekly if you want maximum results, or you can apply it once weekly, and then this will give your crops sufficient fertilizer. Now if you spray this fertilizer onto the crops as a foliar spray, the crop will start absorbing these nutrients within 24 hours from the time that you've sprayed it, and these crops would immediately the nutrients will immediately start being used by the crops, and within a couple of days you will see a big difference on your crop. At the same time, you can use rabbit urine as a pesticide. So how do you do that? You mix the rabbit urine with water using a ratio of 1:2. This will give you a much better concentration of the spray, and again you apply it onto your crops as a spray. This will help you to reduce the pests that attack your crops, thereby cutting your costs of chemicals and all those sprays that you normally apply to get rid of pests that attack your crops. So the ratio is 1:2. You can apply again once or twice a week, and you see a big difference. We've done some trials side by side with beds that we apply this rabbit urine and some that we don't, and we saw a big difference in terms of the vigor in the crop, in terms of the quality of the leaves of the vegetables, and also them being attacked by pests. So rabbit urine is such a good fertilizer. Also, it's an environmentally friendly fertilizer, so it doesn't damage the environment, it doesn't damage the soil. If anything, it actually improves the quality of your soil. So whether you apply the urine through drip or through foliar spray, it doesn't matter. The effect to the soil is exactly the same. It will help to improve that quality of your soil. Rabbit urine also has a high level of nitrogen, so it is good to use in crops that require high nitrogen. So if you have any crops that or if you've got soils that are low in nitrogen, then you can apply rabbit urine to improve nitrogen. Or if you have crops that are hungry for nitrogen, it means that you can apply rabbit urine to also help you to improve the nitrogen levels in the soils, so that your crops can be able to develop very, very well. Again, as a fertilizer, it's such a balanced fertilizer with nutrition that is well balanced, which is good for the crops, because its NPK is 2.72% nitrogen, 8.7% phosphorus, it's 2.3% potassium, it's 3.6% sulfur, it's 1.26% calcium, and 4% magnesium. All these nutrients are vital for crop development, they are vital for productivity, they are vital for the growth of your crop. So it means that if you apply your rabbit urine, then your crops are going to benefit from all these nutrients that are readily available from the rabbit urine. So your crop will definitely grow very well organically. The taste of the crop will be very nice, and also the shelf life of your crop will be much longer compared to maybe those that don't get rabbit urine as a fertilizer. Earlier on, we also spoke about how we feed rabbits with hay. So that means that rabbits are herbivores. So it means that the rabbit urine that you collect from the rabbits has got it's a high alkaline product, meaning that if you've got soils that have a low pH, that pH can be improved simply by applying rabbit urine to your soils or applying it to your crops. So it's got a very, very high alkaline, and to give you a pH of around 8 to 9, which is way, way higher than the 5.5 pH that is expected for the production of crops like horticulture crops and things like that. So these are benefits that accrue by just applying rabbit urine into your crops. And remember, the rabbit urine is coming to you at zero cost. There's no cost for you in collecting rabbit urine. The rabbits will just produce their urine naturally, and all you do is to collect the urine into buckets, and you apply this into your field, into your garden, into your crops, your orchard, your lawn, everywhere at zero cost. So you can imagine the benefits, how you would reduce your cost of farming by simply applying rabbit urine in your crops. Thank you for watching this episode about rabbit farming. If you need more information, if you want to get into it, if you got excited, feel free to contact me on 0772 511 419.